Welcome to the Cosmic Cafe, the companion podcast to thecosmiccircus.com. I'm Ayla Ruby, and we have an exciting interview today. The second season of Apple TV Plus's Invasion premiered a little over a month ago, and we got to speak with Erik, the show's VFX supervisor, about bringing those big cinematic sequences to life. Enjoy! Hi, Erik. It's wonderful to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ayla.
So Invasion is a very VFX heavy show, and I'm very excited to talk to you about it. So I want to kind of just jump right in since we're limited on time. So that first episode, let's talk about it. It came out today, and that first sequence is like, there's a lot of fire. There's the aliens. Can you talk about bringing that to life? I think I read that it took 6 weeks to just shoot, not, post or anything like that. So I'd love to hear how that came to be.
6 weeks to post, or 6 weeks to shoot, and probably 4 or 5 months to post.
Oh my goodness.
So it's we started. Alex Sakharov is the director of the episode, and he was keen to have something that felt like the camera was in amongst the fighting. And of course Mitski, our heroine, is fighting and saving people, and whether it be children or people who have been knocked down, she's doing all of that stuff. So what we started with, Alex did storyboards for the whole sequence, like every little beat. And then we prevised the heck out of it, adding the alien in. Small tweaks were made because of the way the aliens move. We can take advantage of that here or there. And then they went and shot it, and let me tell you, they just did exactly what we planned. And
oh wow,
sometimes it works. It doesn't always, but they just shot it perfectly and gave us every opportunity to have success, and giving room for an alien, moving the camera in a way that allowed for the alien to be placed in the scene. Alex and his team really delivered for us. I had a supervisor on the ground who helped in that, and then we go into post, and the team at Weta took all of those shots, and this is an alien that they knew well from season 1 because they had done all of those. But what happens when you work with an alien over time, you get better and better at it. And there was a shorthand between us, and getting those 3D objects to sit in the frame, and the animations were, I think, exceptional in that scene. We get a chance to, of course, have people killed, but just seeing them in all, giving different places for them to run, rooftops, down into alleys, and giving a lot more character than I think we had in anything in season 1. So it was really that opening scene was supposed to do one thing and one thing only, is to say, season 1, you had a little bit of aliens and a lot of character development. And what are you going to get in season 2? Boom. You're going to get aliens left and right, and a war. Basically open up and tell the audience, this season is about all-out war.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because season 1, a lot of character development, but season 2, like, there's so much more. There's a lot of sci-fi stuff, not without going too much into the show, because I know it hasn't aired yet. There's like the mothership. There are these really cool, there's this fog, which I would love to talk to you about, and how, I guess, so there's this big battle between, Anisha, Luke, Clark. They're, escaping these hunter-killer aliens.
Yes.
Can you talk about, like, bringing the fog to life? Because that just was completely creepy.
Yeah.
It totally worked, and, like, it wasn't a jump scare, but it's terrifying. So
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously that was a challenge, because we were shooting that in outdoors, and it's tough to keep all of that fog, the live action fog. So obviously we had to augment it, and There are scenes where, people are being chased and they couldn't get any fog. And so we're really adding it. And the idea of the fog was supposed to be a little bit of, where is it coming from next? And also just, when they're in the car and driving along and Anisha looks out and, searching and Luke's feeling something and then you see them kind of running alongside. In other words, these new aliens being able to keep up with the car easily. It's like, oh, okay, now what's going to happen? I just think that that scene, was really well, again, prevised and thought out. And I think that anytime you can use, a natural element to play hide and seek with your aliens, it's going to be a success, and I think that's probably why that is, and I think people like that scene quite a bit.
Was there any anything, whether it be other other shows or other movies, that you kind of drew inspiration from, or kind of like had little Easter eggs for in this season? I think I read something about The Abyss at one point.
Yeah.
And how that was, that inspired some of the stuff. I'd love to hear if there's anything else.
Absolutely. I mean, years ago, I actually worked on The Abyss because I'm old. But, that was one of those things where we were super careful of, we had to create an alien for season 2, a higher life form, a sentient life form. And Simon gave us the marching, and Simon Kinberg, the creator of the show, gave us the marching orders that he wanted it to be beautiful and, kind of ethereal, and it wouldn't have eyes, and it wouldn't be able to communicate in a typical, human to human way. So how are you going to do it? And then he left, left us with it, because that's our job. And what we came up with, I think, still can emote. And there's a great level of emotions that we were able to get in. And obviously the comparison to The Abyss came in because it does feel like it's at sometimes made of water, this entity. And of course there's the character, the alien takes on the shape of water in The Abyss. But in The Abyss, it also creates a face at one point for the actor to work against. We never did that. We couldn't do that. And yet I think there are intimate moments with one of the characters and this entity alien that I think are real powerful, and it's amazing that you can do it. But we were aware of the comparison to The Abyss, and we said, if people are comparing it, that's high praise. And I don't think that we are overtly trying to copy it in any way. It's a whole different thing, and it's driven by all the emotional moments are driven by something that happened to this character as recently as season 1. And so you have to have watched to understand why there's a kind of love-hate relationship going on.
I think it totally works with the story, and everything that's been building. And I think this might be my last question. Was there anything that you really loved, loved working on this season, that you're super proud of, that just was like a joy to create and bring to life?
I would say that one of the things that I think is most successful is we get in season 1, you saw a ship that was, an unknown. And in season 2, we get to go inside it. And I think that as you watch the episodes, because it's a little later in the season when you go inside and you see certain things. I thought that the execution of that was a lot of fun. I think it gives you real science fiction moments that I guess I kind of are near and dear to my heart. Sure, the challenge of the entity was a tough one, and I'd say more difficult than what I'm talking about in the interior. But there's some great, big, vast moments where it's almost, I guess, the success of the interior of that ship and my love of that part was that it reveals without being in your face. It just kind of, you walk into it and you go, oh my God, this is a place that is so vast, I can't even, my mind is blown. But we're not making too much of it. You're just seeing it as, of course, that's what it is, because it's just big. And I just think those interiors by a company called Renault Effects in Montreal are some of the best in the show. And I think people will really enjoy those if you're a science fiction freak.
And we definitely are.
All right.
Well, thank you very much. This has been wonderful talking.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed it too. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. Thank you for listening. You can find the companion article for this podcast, along with all the other news for those who like superheroes, science fiction, and fantasy, films, TV shows, and other media at thecosmiccircus.com. Have a great day.